everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth and I'm a holistic health and embodiment coach. I help women heal through a mind, body, and spirit approach by supporting nervous system regulation, gut and hormone health, self-love, embodiment, emotional healing, and reconnecting with their authentic selves. And today we're going to dive into a topic that I feel has become incredibly popular over the past few years, which is feminine energy. You may have heard phrases like step into your feminine, be more magnetic, learn to receive, stop living in your masculine. But what do these phrases actually mean? And perhaps more importantly, is masculine energy bad? Or have we misunderstood what true feminine embodiment really is? Today, I want to explore this topic from a much deeper perspective. We'll talk about what feminine and masculine energy actually represent, why so many women feel disconnected from their feminine essence, how our modern world has contributed to this imbalance, and most importantly, how we can begin creating greater harmony between these two energies for our overall balance and well-being. Because true healing isn't about choosing one over the other. It's about integration. So let's dive into today's topic. First off, let's discuss what is masculine and feminine energy. Important to understand that we're not talking about a biological gender here. Every person, whether you are a man or a woman, has both masculine and feminine qualities. Think of them as complementary energies, a state of balance. Masculine energy generally represents things like structure, logic, planning, action, discipline, achievement, protection, direction, boundaries, doing, all things that we need, yes? Feminine energy, on the other hand, represents things like intuition, creativity, presence, receptivity, nurturing, connection, flow, compassion, emotion, and being. Again, all things that we need to embody as humans. Neither are superior and both are necessary. So imagine a task for a moment, say trying to plant a garden. Masculine energy builds the garden beds. It creates the plan and plants the seeds. Feminine energy nourishes the soil, allows growth to unfold, trusts the seasons, and receives the harvest. Healthy living requires both. So next, let's discuss why so many women feel disconnected. Many women today have become incredibly capable. We've built careers, raised families, managed households, started businesses, taken care of everyone around us, and these are beautiful strengths. But for many women, survival required becoming almost exclusively focused on doing, a masculine energy. Always producing, always planning, always achieving, always carrying responsibility, always anticipating everyone else's needs. And over time, and especially in today's society, many women have forgotten how to simply be. I know myself is included in this. This isn't because something is wrong with them. It's often because their nervous system adapted to environments where slowing down didn't feel safe, or they simply just have too many responsibilities on their plate that keeps them in that masculine energy for too much of their day in and day out. There's the nervous system connection here as well, because one of the biggest misconceptions about feminine embodiment is that it's simply about changing your mindset. But embodiment begins in the body, not the mind. When your nervous system is living in chronic survival mode, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, the body naturally prioritizes control, hypervigilance, overthinking, constant productivity. These protective responses, they're not personality traits. Many women say, I don't know how to relax. I always feel like I need to be productive. I can't sit still. I feel guilty when I rest. These aren't character flaws. They're often signs of a nervous system that has learned that safety comes through constant doing. So now let's look at how society has shaped this way of being, because our culture often has rewarded masculine qualities, especially in Western countries. Productivity, achievement, busyness, competition, speed, efficiency, more, faster, bigger. For many years, success and even our value has largely been measured by how much we accomplish, not how connected we feel, not how present we are, not how nourished we are as individuals. As a result, many people have become disconnected from things like rest, creativity, nature, stillness, intuition, community. These are qualities that nourish the feminine. When an entire culture emphasizes doing over being, it's no surprise so many people now feel exhausted, stressed, unfulfilled, lonely, burnt out, and many people have had enough. I know I was one of those people, and I see evidence of it everywhere, nearly every day. It's time for change. I want to next dive a bit into Carl Jung and the inner feminine, because Carl Jung taught that psychological wholeness comes through integrating the different parts of ourselves. He described the anima, the inner feminine, and the animus, the inner masculine, as complementary aspects of the psyche. For Jung, healing wasn't about rejecting one side, it was about becoming conscious of both. A woman who is deeply embodied isn't disconnected from her strength. She's connected to it in a balanced way. She knows when to take action and she knows when to surrender. She knows when to lead and she knows when to listen. This integration is part of what Jung called the process of individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming your authentic self. Next, what are spiritual perspectives on these energies? Many spiritual traditions also reflect this balance. In things like Chinese philosophy, yin and yang symbolize complementary forces rather than opposing ones. Yin, or the feminine, is often associated with receptivity, intuition, stillness, and nourishment. Yang, or the masculine, is associated with action, structure, and movement. Neither exists without the other. Together, they create harmony. And Edgar Cayce also spoke about the importance of balancing the spiritual, mental, and physical aspects of life. Healing, in his view, wasn't simply about fixing symptoms. It was about bringing the whole person into greater harmony. Nature teaches us this as well. There are seasons of growth and seasons of rest, seasons of action and seasons of reflection. We are cyclical beings just like nature, and our lives are meant to move in those same rhythms. Now, what feminine embodiment looks like, I want to discuss next. So, feminine embodiment actually looks like things like listening to your intuition, allowing yourself to rest without guilt, receiving help instead of believing you have to do everything alone, honoring your emotions instead of suppressing them, moving your body because it feels nourishing rather than punishing, creating beauty in your environment, setting healthy boundaries because you value yourself, spending time in nature, practicing a sense of presence, feeling your emotions without becoming consumed by them. It's not about becoming passive. It's about becoming present. So, what are some practical ways you can begin? I want to give you some practices you can start today. First, create moments of stillness. Even 5 minutes of quiet breathing each morning begins teaching your nervous system that safety exists without constant activity. Second, reconnect with your body. Gentle walks, yoga, stretching, dance, breath work, meditation. Notice how your body feels rather than constantly living in your head. Third, practice receiving. Allow someone to help you. Accept a compliment without dismissing it. Receive kindness without feeling that you must immediately give something in return. Fourth, spend time in nature. Nature naturally models a state of balance. It reminds us that growth includes rests. Expansion includes contraction. Nothing blooms all year long, and you weren't meant to either. Finally, ask yourself each day, what do I need today? Not what should I accomplish? That one question can begin changing your relationship with yourself. And if there's one thing that I hope you take away from today's conversation, it's this. Feminine embodiment isn't about becoming less ambitious. It's not about giving up your strength. It's not about rejecting your masculine energy. It's about remembering that you were never meant to live in survival mode. You are meant to experience both doing and being, structure and flow, action and intuition, strength and softness. When these energies begin working together instead of competing with one another, life often starts to feel more peaceful, more authentic, and more aligned. Healing isn't becoming someone new, it's returning to the parts of yourself that have been waiting to be remembered. And if this conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know, what does feminine embodiment mean to you? Do you feel you've been living more in a doing energy or being? And what small step could you take this week to create a little more balance in your life? If you're looking for deeper support on your healing journey, be sure to check out my resources that I linked for you below. Together, we can explore nervous system regulation, embodiment, self-love, shadow work, and holistic health so you can reconnect with your most authentic self again. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe for more content like this weekly, and share it with somebody who you think might need this message today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today and allowing me to be a small part of your healing journey. Until next time, remember this. Your feminine isn't something you have to become. It's something that you allow yourself to remember. This is your weekly reminder to do something today that brings you joy. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.